to Two T's and a Fee, a talk show dedicated to improving your quality of life. Y'all see our shirts?
Hey,
we got
shirts. Can you see?
Two
You can't
T's
even
and a
see
Fee,
mine.
y'all. We can't see. We got mad.
We growing, y'all. We growing.
We doing things what I like.
We is.
We know how to do what
and that's what the shirt looks like off of us. Wait, turn around, y'all. Look.
I can't turn around now. You doing too much. They can't see that.
So it got extra stuff on the back.
It got our names.
It's
and
our
hashtags,
name and the hashtag.
which are going to be in the comments.
Yes. Share with
make sure you
us.
subscribe, like, share, and
tell a friend.
Yes,
tell a friend.
Okay, ladies, we're going to get started. Let's introduce ourselves.
Me first again?
Yeah.
We're going to have to start changing this rotation a little bit. All right. Hey, everybody. I am TD Pitts here. Happy to be here. So who am I? All the time I'm a realtor, a contractor, an investor, an instructor now.
Wonderful.
Yeah, right. Adding titles. And then an entrepreneur all the way around. And I am just happy to be here, blessed to have woken up today.
Okay.
I am upbeat and can't wait. And the topic today is a little heavy, so when Fee let us know what's going on and what the topic is, I felt like I should start off this high.
Because it might go down.
We might have some ebbs and flows today, but that's just the essence of what this whole Two T's and the Fee show is all about, right?
That's right.
But at the end, we are going to wrap it back around and always have a positive with what we talk about. So today, like every day, I am here to give away my gifts. Who's next?
Trace.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Tracy, and I'm a health coach. I also help you with your stress and your self-care. And that's all I'm going to say. It's up to you.
That's it. Tracy ain't telling it all. Listen, y'all.
I am.
She's not. So, health coach, help with stress, but she makes a lot of different things. She knows how to make the oils and the soaps and what else, the scrubs and stuff for
essential
healing
oils,
your bodies and you help your hair.
I don't make essential oils, but
See,
well, she makes blends. She makes blends. So sometimes you might have different kinds or 5 or 6 different kinds of essential oils that do essential things to the body. And what Tracy will do is talk to you, coach you, find out what blend may work for any chronic illness or any ailments or anything that you might have going on. So Tracy can make a blend of those essential oils that is custom to you and what you need. So yeah, we get all kinds of gifts. We love Tracy.
But you know what, ladies? I think we just show women especially how we can help one another, because you and I are much more vocal than Trace.
Yes.
And I know sometimes it's very hard, even though I represent people for a living. I'm a lawyer. But it's hard for people to talk about themselves sometimes. And because Tracy is much more quiet and laid back than we are, sometimes when you have people in your life, speak for them. Because it's Tracy would never come out and tell you that, but damn it, I like to talk.
Yeah. I'm a talker myself.
Yeah,
did y'all know?
And we couldn't tell. And and it's about us growing and helping and doing things for people. So that was a good moment right here where we three, she's a little quieter than hers. We are. So sometimes when you have friends, sometimes you just have to speak for them. They appreciate it. Even though, they act like you don't want to say nothing, but they do.
But you know what? That's also called introvert, which is not a bad thing. Extrovert. You got 2 extras and 1 intro. Okay? We are the awesome balance, right? The awesome balance.
Yes.
So, but don't get us wrong now. When she got something to say, she gonna say it.
But unlike us, we don't need to feel them kind of way. We
just say it anyway. Sometimes we say it by accident.
Just talk anyway.
Okay. But yeah, so we just wanted to explain, if you guys were wondering why we always chiming in and bigging up our girl. Well, sometimes, she's very modest and she has such amazing gifts, you know what I mean, that sometimes, and we'll talk about this during other shows when we get on us and our nonsense, because we're going to talk about our own personal stuff. We're going to choose which one we're going to share with you. But we're going to choose one, and then we're going to keep it real. We're going to be honest, because we are women just like you guys are, and we got stuff, and we want to talk about it. You know, it's therapeutic for us.
It is.
It may be able to give you some therapy and some perspective, but in any event, we like to help our sister here at times when we don't want to talk about ourselves, or we don't toot our own horn, so to speak. Like, I don't toot, like, people tell me a lot of things about me, even though I am an extrovert. I'm robotic. I just do what I do because I just do it, you know, and it's not something I think about until someone else says, you know, T, you're this or you that. So it's great to hear too what others think of you. So Trey, we think you are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we love her. Okay. I'm just
Introvert.
saying.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Wait a minute.
See?
It's coming.
It ain't all that.
All right, ladies, let's ease into our topic.
Well, who are you?
Oh, I said I'm Felicia. I'm a lawyer. I did say I'm Felicia, by the way, and I'm a lawyer and some other stuff. So,
What's the other stuff?
Okay, she all Are you trying to get me back, boo?
Yes.
What?
I'm a lawyer, and that's it, and some other stuff. What's the other stuff?
Okay. Sometimes I sing. Sometimes I act.
Sometimes.
That's it.
Okay. I just wanted the other stuff to come out.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That's
That's rare.
Is that enough? That's enough for you?
For right now, yeah.
No. Anyway, we're going to ease into the topic. As T kind of said a little bit, it's going to be kind of personal to all of us, this topic. And it is, what is your relationship with your sister or sisters?
Yeah.
They could be. So me being a nerd, well, how it happened yesterday, I was at a 60th birthday party. I had to sing at a 60th birthday party. And the birthday girl had 6 sisters. And they were all there. And from the outside, it appeared they got along. But I noticed little things and little cliques they had with all 6 of them. And it was cute because they sang this song, Locomotion. They all got up and sang, and it was nice and cute. And on my way home, I started thinking about, dang, she got 6 sisters. That must have been rough growing up in that house with 6 women. And then I started reflecting on the relationship with my sister. And I have to say, my relationship with my sister is not good at all. Matter of fact, it's probably non-existent. And that is my choosing. I made the choice to not have a relationship with my sister. I hate the term we all using, this toxic relationship. I think that's overplayed, overdone, oversaid. But it was just decisions that my sister was making for her life were not good for me.
Now, how does her decisions for her life not good for you?
Because they affected me.
Okay.
Because her bad decisions, in my opinion, some kind of way end up me having to pick everything up.
Got it.
Or me having to straighten it out. And then when you are usually like that in your family, you end up being the black sheep. And you end up being the one that's the troublemaker.
Okay.
And you end up being the one that everybody's pointing the finger at, and then you end up being the bad one. So I chose to take my power back. And I chose.
Speak to me.
Not to have a relationship, and I chose to heal. That's the big part. From not having a relationship with my sister. Sad, right? And it's just me and her. It's just me and my sister.
Wow.
And I chose not to have one. So being a nerd, I went online and researched it because I wanted to know what is the state of sister-sister relationships. And when I put in the search, every article I saw was negative.
Wow.
Every article I saw was, how to heal the relationship with your sister. Sister-sister relationships are awful. They can bring much harm. I'm like, well, God, darn. So I felt bad, but not as bad because mine was bad. And regain.us is how, this title of the article was How to Navigate Difficult Sister Relationships. And it was a doctor that went on a psychologist saying the different relationships with sisters and how bad they are, and and gave reasons why.
Right.
And it was interesting because they gave, you know, if you come from this type of family, and how sisters are. It wasn't good.
Funniest thing is that you mentioned the psychology around it, and the fact that there is something of an article out there,
Bunch of
articles
articles.
that mention these relationships. They seem to be super common.
Yes.
And super, they have a lot of, what I want to say, commonalities.
Yes, they do.
As you were talking about it, you and I are quite alike.
Right.
And every single one you hit, I'm like, that's why I had to say speak to me, because I was like, oh, is that me over there? Because literally picking up the pieces, black sheep, bad guy, misunderstood. All I'm here trying to help and carry folk, and I'm getting beat up in the process. And
I
then
even
making
got that I
decision.
thought I was better than.
Oh shoot!
I don't think you fucking up, not me. I mean, you the one making all these bad decisions that I have to come back and. I remember I was in law school, and my sister was working, living at home with my mom, and I would still have to give her money. You making bad decisions, not me. But I'm the one better than. Anyway.
Who's older?
I am by 18 months. You wouldn't know it, but I am by age, because it seems like it's a bigger gap between us, but it's not.
And I wonder if age too plays into what you're saying, because it's parallel, like it's eerie parallel.
Well,
because I heard the better than, and I'm older than her. I'm 8 years older than her versus 18 months, but the older sister scenario. I don't know. Maybe, and again, we're just gonna kind of try to dissect this thing. But maybe we're the older kid, so we've gone through the process with the mom, right, and with the family. Like we're older, we've been through it longer. We know what it looks like. So the new sister, so to speak, coming through that process, we already see maybe some patterns, some of the same stuff. So we go into savior mode, to some degree, right? And then that kid still is a different kid, still has a different character, still has a different relationship and connection with the mom, or the parents, and at the same time is torn between being a sister and loving and being in that relationship, but also taking on whatever you and your parent or your mom's relationship, whatever that is, and they're almost like the middle kid. Almost like the middle kid is what I'm just trying to add words to what I experienced, which sounds eerily the same.
But it's funny because in some of the articles I was reading, the bigger the gap. See, me and my sister only 18 years, 18 months apart. So we just a year apart. Yours is 8. But I still felt the same way. Same relationship. Same stuff. Crazy. And a lot of the articles were saying what you live, you almost feel like the parent almost when you have that big of a gap.
Well, I was the parent. I was the parent. And no shade at mom, but my mom having that another baby 8 years later, I was 8, and she had to go to work. She had to take on more work. You know, my dad was involved. Her dad was in and out, so we had different fathers. Same mom, but who's gonna watch the baby while mom goes to work? So I watched the baby, you know, and while I'm watching the baby, I'm the mom, so I have mom instincts that are coming out as she grows up. I am protective. I don't want her to make mistakes that I've already seen or done or what not. You know, all those things I experienced, and.
But it sounds to me like, sorry for cutting you off, but it sounds like you're taking on a role that you two weren't really prepared for.
Oh, absolutely not. But
so I'm in the opposite position. I'm 18 years younger. Than my sister.
Look at that. 18 months, 18 years, 8 years. Oh, snap. I'm sorry, that popped out at me. That's interesting. We just found that out today, y'all. Go ahead, I'm sorry, Trey.
So I was just saying that my sister never took on that role of trying to be my mother because my mother was always there. You know, so in you guys' cases, your mom wasn't there, so you felt the need to want to take care of your sister.
Well, my mom was there.
When I say she was there physically, but was she there
Not for
mentally
me,
or
I don't
emotionally.
think. Not for me.
And then too,
Maybe.
sometimes parents have an innate ability to know which kid needs the help and which kid doesn't.
True.
So they'll say, well, you'll be all right. I got to work on this one over here. And in actuality, they start doing too much over here and not enough over here. So then this one over here starts feeling a certain kind of way, and you know, and then that's where the animosity comes in. In my particular case, my sister was 18 when I was born, and she was pregnant.
Oh.
So my nephew and I are the same age. So there's different kinds of emotions and things that go in with that. And I used to tell my sister, we literally had two different mothers. Literally had two different mothers. You had, mommy was your mother when she was younger. Patience was a little bit less, you know, all that kind of stuff. By the time I come, she has a little bit more patience. You know, she's already had one, so she knows how to deal with me, you know. And then too, I was a different type of child than my sister. So, with you two being the oldest and feeling like you had to mother your sibling, you haven't even grown up to even know what the hell y'all want to do. But you're doing what you think should be done, which is admirable in one way, but in another way, it affects you because you know, now here you are older, and you know, either you have a relationship or you don't. And 9 times out of 10, when something like that happens, you don't have a relationship.
But I don't see the connection. In 9 times out of 10, you don't, because you would think because you were like mom in that scenario, you're taking care of this kid, your sister, on a regular. The bond should be crazy, right? You would think. I would think that the bond, like, is me and my sister. I got to change Pampers. I'm feeding the bottle, and I'm 8 years. I'm 8 years apart, so I'm doing all of the bond. Or another perspective is I'm saying that I'm playing the mom role. Sometimes you hear about moms and daughters with the disconnect, right? Because we're talking about that disconnect, right? With another woman, just so happened to sit in the sibling space, but maybe the gap happens because that relationship has developed like mom-daughter. So I don't know. So can you tell us what do you think the breakdown, when did the breakdown start with you and your sister?
Girl, early. I would say junior high.
Okay. And why?
When we were in elementary, my dad was in the home, and my dad had a lot of issues. So when the issues started, my mom would cater to my dad to try to get all his issues off from me and my sister. Okay. So I felt that I was the one, because I'll never forget my sister. She was in the 3rd, 4th grade or whatever, and my dad had come undoing his crazy mess, and I couldn't find her. And my mom had taken my dad in the room, and I remember vividly going and searching for my sister, and I found her in the bathtub, shivering, scared as hell. She couldn't stop shaking, and unfortunately, I think my sister still have issues today that she did not get resolved from that whole situation. And that was junior high. That was elementary. When we got to junior high, we haven't had a relationship since then. She just internalized everything that was going on in our house, and it became hate. It became, she was valedictorian of her class, high school. She to me, she didn't have many friends. She unfortunately gained weight, and I was the opposite. You know, I was a people person. I was smart, but if I got a C, I ain't care about it. You know, so we just and I always
grew apart.
Yeah,
but still in the same home, still together.
Still in the same home. And even I sing, she sing. We used to sing together. I had a whole different set of friends. She didn't really have any. It was a really big disconnect.
Do you see why she would hate you?
I do. I do see that how she could not understand how she was still suffering, and how she was still, you know, she was gaining weight. She didn't have friends. She was an introvert, and I was, you know, little and playing sports and had friends, and you know, actually I just separated from my mom because my mom and my sister worked too, and I just went my own separate way.
There's a jealousy that turned into hatred there. You know.
Oh yeah, I can
sometimes
accept that.
You know,
I can accept that.
Well, what
I'm
is
sure
she jealous
wouldn't
of?
call it.
What
I'm
is
sure
she
she
jealous?
wouldn't call it jealousy.
But what is she jealous
She don't see
of?
it
Like, what do we think?
Because of how I was, I think. I
You.
always had, yes.
So it had nothing to do with jealous because mom's treating you differently, or jealous
no,
because of.
she was a mom. She had my mom, and when my dad separated,
So just
from my
jealous
mom,
of you and your growth and your
I think so.
changes and
and
your.
how I saw life and what I wanted to do and how I was a go getter and how I went.
And she wasn't able to
No.
do that.
So she's projecting her own feelings.
Yes.
On you.
And she,
Yes.
and she may be jealous because in her mind she felt like you didn't help her achieve that.
Maybe I can accept that. I can accept that. Although I'm not quite sure what I could have done being 18 months.
But you're 18 months apart. She don't know that. You don't know that
Maybe
because
You
y'all
never-
so close. Now with the distance between me and my sister, you know, after I got a certain age, I was seeing a whole lot of stuff and I was hearing things and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's why you do that. Oh, okay. That's why you did this. Okay. That's why you did that. Well, age brings on perspective
It does.
and the ability to understand what's going on.
It does.
Sometimes you still don't understand and you're a grown ass woman and you still don't know what's going
True.
on until somebody sits down and actually makes you think about it.
Have you ever
Because-
tried to fix or have a conversation that honestly about what the disconnect is or what she might think the disconnect is? Or has there been anything from on her side
My
to
sister,
cement
you
that?
can't. She's the type that is so tightly wound. If you say something, she come and then I'm coming back.
Okay.
You know, so
Mhm.
it just no. She
Well, it
never-
has to be somebody else. It can't be you.
Yeah, no, it definitely
Yeah.
can't be. I'm not even sure she's open to do it with anybody.
She might not be.
I don't. She came to live with me when I was in law school, and she was in San Antonio, and I was in Houston, and she came to live with me. I don't even remember ever talking to her.
Wow.
And
wow.
we went out. I
And
don't
so-
remember us sitting down eating together. I don't remember us having a conversation. Nothing.
Wow.
So for
Sometimes you always think that there's only you and your sister that go through these things.
We don't. And what's interesting is we all these years, and I haven't. She's made some really poor decisions to me, so I've backed off a lot. I mean, I probably can have gone a year or so without even talking to my sister. And when my father passed away, we had to. Do you know she just texted?
Oh.
We had to text to talk about particulars about my father, and I had to include my mother in the text because some stuff went on, and I was still so angry that if it had been just me and her, I know I would have said what I wanted to say.
Okay.
So to police myself, I put my mom in the text, and I still told both of them off. But it was so sad.
Not surprised.
It was so sad that even by my father passing away, it was still by text.
And you know what? I'm wild. If you see any faces from me on this side, not judgment, it is wild because same thing. Same thing. Our mom passed. And we started off, well, we weren't speaking so much, so too much when she passed, and we had to text. We had to start off texting, and when we finally got on the phone, it went, and you want to talk about this conversation, it went all the way to Mars. I have never screamed, and I'm a screamer. I'm a screamer when I regularly talk. But I screamed. She had hit a trigger for me. And I had screamed so loud, so husky, so deep that we went all the way to the moon and back. Did I say the moon? Moon, Mars. We visited all the planets. Okay. And I felt like it needed to happen though.
Okay.
It was almost that whole, I always have this saying, even with regular, dealing with your everyday folks. Sometimes when there's a conflict, you got to go all the way up before you come back down. And we had to go all the way up to come back down. And I think the essence of being tired and the issue at hand was mom's death and my maturity and humbleness, because she is my younger sister, so I'm responsible
Right.
for my control, not hers, but my control. I need to show up differently in order for something to happen differently. Now, I'm not, again, trying to control her, but I have to control what I want the outcome to be and what this conversation is going to be. So I'm taking that responsibility for me. And I can only say that it worked. Okay. And I thought that we would amend and begin to grow more from the death of Mom. But literally not too long after that, she disappeared again without really explaining what the disappearance was about. But something, I don't think she's well in dealing with Mom's death, because she's also dealing with her own father's death, maybe 2 years before. Wow. So she has no parents at this point. And I always said growing up, at the end of the day, it's going to be me and my sister. When grandma goes and mom goes, it's just going to be me and I have to take care of my sister. I'm always here for my sister. I have so many extensions of me. Who am I going to give that to? I don't have any daughters. So my sister, and I still have my sister. But in that phrase, I'm first, which is new for me. Okay. So I had to figure out, like you said, the decisions she was making, the things that she's doing, I can't co-sign. I can't change it. I'm not going to accept your feelings of me, or your feelings. I think it's not even of me. I think those are your feelings. You think I'm better than. You think you had a short end of the stick. You think, and you want to yell at me about what you think, when those things aren't facts. Those things are opinions. And I have my own opinions too. But I'm not going to project my opinions and make them facts. And I'm not going to allow you to do it to me. And that's what I'm hearing you say. And that's what causes the continuous disconnect, right? Where you either try to amend, and if you don't want to be transparent, move forward, and let's go back to go forward, or let's go forward, then ain't no reason. Ain't no.
We understood it.
Ain't no reason to continue if it's not going to be healthy. Yeah.
So well, it's good you could able to confront. My family is the type of family you don't confront shit. You don't say nothing. No matter what the conflict, no matter what went on, you just don't talk about it. What goes on in this house stays in this house mentality that I can't stand. We don't confront each other emotionally. Nothing. Except for me. That's why I live on the East Coast. In Texas. So we don't have that type of dynamic. And she stayed in it. So her mentality is still there. Wow. So anytime I try to bring up something or get something resolved, it is met with a total block. So I had to make the decision to heal me. Right. And stop those negative way of thinking. And so I don't think like that now, but I still cannot force them, and I'm including my mother, to do that. It's funny, the article said some sisters admit to leading happier lives without communicating with their sister because they prefer to avoid the drama or strenuous relationship.
That's true. I can say yes to that.
And most women won't admit, but sisters are usually the worst at navigating or managing healthy relationships. Wow. It's pretty bad. It's common to hear that sisters are estranged.
It is. It is, especially even within this circle right here. We all have sisters, and we all have stress and a problem in that relationship. Yes. Even before we got started, was kind of laughing about, well, dang, is there a positive story attached to anyone?
Well, one article called Life Hack. I don't know why they named it that way, but anyway, it's called lifehack.org. They tried to do some, sister things. The good thing about having a sister, you can borrow things from them. That didn't happen in my house. You always have someone to vent to. That didn't happen in my house either. You get each other in a way no one else can. That didn't happen either. You have a partner in crime. So they tried to say, different stuff to make it positive, but I really only I looked at like 7 or 8 articles, and maybe only one of them was positive, and that was the one about different things that you can do with you. The rest of them, And a lot of them were written by therapists and psychologists, and you know, it wasn't people just writing in about their experience.
Do any of them have siblings? 'Cause
I don't know the psychologist.
That's the first thing I want to ask.
The psychologist, and then
You got one
well,
to
I
speak
think
about
it's they basing it on their practice and what they've come up with.
in the psychology of.
No, I don't think they're full of shit. I
You
think
have-
as a psychologist and you sitting down and you are taught to analyze and you are taught to
Yeah, I don't think you
behaviors.
always have to
I
have,
think you're
right,
just
the experience
you know,
in
if
order
you
to
have
speak about
come
it.
at, you know, no, I think as a doctor,
Yeah.
you see patients.
Like a doctor doesn't necessarily
have a heart
no
condition,
no
but he
cancer,
can tell
right?
you
Exactly.
about. Okay, so
Right.
these doctors and therapists are telling you what they have seen
Exactly,
come
yeah.
before them, and they are showing you the patterns.
Why you don't agree?
Why you don't agree with
I
that?
just don't agree. I mean, I agree with that part. They see patterns and stuff, but
So that's what
No, I'm saying
that's
it's
what
the
they're
same
writing
thing.
about.
You know,
What the hell are they writing about?
I don't know what they're writing about.
Help me, because I'm not understanding.
why you like? There's a reason that you think that because they don't have the experience, they can't speak on it.
They can speak on it just because they a doctor and they seen this and they seen that.
Yeah, they just talk about what they've seen come in.
Okay.
Well, some of them are right because it is exactly what was written is at least in this circle, and
Right.
we'll find out from you guys hopefully in the comments, and you send us some emails to let us know what your relationship is with your sister. We'll really find out, you know, how much more common this is, because I just had an epiphany hearing your relationship with your sister is freaking the same relationship I have with mine, and some of the same language, you know
Right.
what I mean,
Right.
that they spit out,
Right.
you know. I don't know, like she is functional, she has a family, you know, I thought maybe the age gap, maybe I'll wait for maturity, she get a little older, I mean, because when you get older you get mature, hindsight is 2020. And now I'm listening that maybe not, you know, because you and your sister are older, 18 months apart. And so age is just a number. In this case, too.
But you have to make a conscious choice to want to change. You know that.
Yes.
And if, you heard me say that she's still involved in the dysfunctional thinking and
Right.
behaviors. So if you never really get out of that, or if you can't do some self-reflection to shift that, it stays the same.
So it's still about
It stays the
mindset.
same. Yes.
It still wraps back around to
Yes.
other topics we've talked about
Yes.
on mindset. So mindset in everything that
Yes.
we do is
Yes.
what changes
Yes.
your thoughts and your movements.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So our sisters are stuck
I believe my
in
sister
whatever
is stuck.
space
Yes.
that is.
Yes.
The space of pity, woe is me, it's not easy for me. I mean, I've had several conversations as my kid sister grew up, like, dude, you got the same 24 hours I have. You have a dream, you want to be this or be that, what would be the next steps? And what I know, I don't have no problem telling. I've
So
sat to tell.
how does that sound to her when you're telling her that?
I don't know how it sounds
may-
unless she expresses,
Wait a minute.
and she has.
It may, it may sound to her differently than the way you're putting it.
It
out.
absolutely
In
may
your
have.
situation, to me, it sounds like because your sister's still living with your mom, right, and everything, she's still back when she was a kid. She hasn't expressed herself or any of that.
So the question is it my fault?
No, it's not your fault.
Okay. Is it Felicia's fault?
No.
So overall, our sisters are stuck in this space. Now, whether you perceive my conversation with you, like I'm a firm believer in communication, right? And the bearer of that is the person communicating. I am trying to tell you something. So what you perceive, what you hear, how you get it, how you internalize it is you, but the responsibility of delivery and what I wanted you to get is me. I can only say it so many different which ways and express, but if you are not in the receiving seat,
True.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say or how I say it, because you're going to receive it the way you're going to receive it, because you're stuck in whatever you're stuck in. And this now we're saying, I'm not owning you being stuck.
No.
I'm here to unstick you as much as I can unstick. Let's lean on each other. Sometimes I'm stuck. I'm not holier than thou. I don't know everything. But let's learn together. And you aren't opening up any of those doors to reciprocate that. So how many times do I come to knock? How many times do I show up and you don't even open the door? Yeah. How many times do I ring the doorbell over and over and over and over and over? At some point, I'm no longer coming to visit you because you don't want company. You don't want me to tell you nothing. You don't want to hear from me. So I have to let you stay in your space until whenever.
If ever.
If ever.
Right.
And so that is sad.
It is. It's really sad because I would love to have.
So where do we put that sadness? Because it doesn't disappear.
No, you
what
learn
happens to it?
You learn to heal. You learn to deal with it. You have to learn. You have to keep going, and and I had to accept that's where my sister is. And the funny thing is, if she hear this, or if she thinks she's living the life, she thinks she's, she would tell you that she's happy, but the few times I go, it's not that. I can't see it at all. I have told her that, but and I can't see. I don't see the growth. I don't see how you have a different mentality than you did when you graduated high school. I don't see you having different moves, different behavior. I see none of the above.
Now I think Tracy is saying that does she feel judgment from these conversations? And I just said she probably feels all of those things. But once again, it goes back to I believe is receivable. You wouldn't feel all this if you could receive. Like even you guys, if you guys need to give me constructive criticism on something, I can either receive it or I could be against it and be like no or whatever the blocks are. Is it your fault that you ate? I just told you because I love you, just wanted to share. I have to receive it, and internalize it. And either, you're either going to get the negative or you're going to get the positive from it. And I think, unfortunately, sisters have so many other external things too.
Yes.
We raised together and all that. Then we got the external stuff.
Yes.
Then we got our character stuff. Then we got the mom and the dad stuff, how we were raised by the same people, but a different perspective.
Yes.
I wanted out early. When I was a child, I dreamed of out. Not that I had a bad life. I just wanted more than what I saw. I knew there was more.
Yes.
Maybe my sibling wasn't thinking that way. I don't think she was.
Too.
Yeah, so it's the better than.
Yeah, I was judged for that.
It was the better than. It was the better than, conceited. It was all these words, But I also realized I did have a conversation with my sister, and she had a moment where she spit out a few things, and she pretty much felt abandoned by me, which I was unaware of. So, like you said, I'll take that. Some of the things that she may have said, I can take that. I want her to throw up all the stuff because I don't know what she's thinking or what she feels or what she felt or what she currently feels. But she did have a moment where she felt abandoned. And I say, and just briefly, guys, I ended up moving out the house and moving with my own father. But I did that for me and my self growth and things. I had no idea that my sister internalized that as I was leaving her.
And that's my point about you two being the older sister and you feeling you had to take care of the little sister, and then when you escape, you don't take the little sister with you. So the little sister feels some kind of way because you were here for me, now all of a sudden you're gone but you ain't take me with you.
Right, but can we also say that?
But I thought that we're talking about children here.
Yeah, so I'm a child too.
I was a kid. Exactly.
Right, so we're asking for a little bit of understanding from the sister. Let's sit down and talk about it.
You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it because she's still here. She's still a kid.
But I feel like your conversation is still holding me responsible for her.
I'm not holding you responsible for her.
What are you saying? You want me to see her side?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen it. It just sat, and here's the communication, right? The receival. I'm receiving responsibility because that's what I'm hearing, right? And throughout my life, I've been responsible. I've been responsible. Right. So now here's the trigger. And we're just breaking this down for what the things that we hear from each other when we're communicating, when that's not what maybe Tracy is delivering, right? She's not delivering responsibility. She's just delivering perspectives. But I'm hearing responsible, and I'm running from it. I don't want that responsibility no more. I'm tired of being in that space and not being appreciated for it. So damn.
Was there ever an apology for you?
Never. Wait,
no,
sorry.
What I mean is, when your sister was able to tell you, when we do understand and we have to appreciate that everybody is not as liberated as we are to say the feelings and the hurt. A lot of people still have hurt shit here.
Yes.
And so we have to understand where they are in this process of
and
healing.
I can take that.
So, if she's not in the process of healing or where you are, when you heard your sister say, you left me, did you, maybe if you had to stop?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did that.
Bitch, I'm sorry.
I did. I did that.
I just felt I had to say.
I did. I had explained to her. So she feels like I left her and my dad, because my dad is very, very, loving father. He took on her too as my, sister from another father. Okay. Get off to me. But my dad was in her life too. But because my mom was a barrier, my dad went through what he went through getting me. He realize I can't do or go as far as I did for my bio child. I'm always going to be blocked with this child because she's not mine. So my mom would use that, and it was too much for my dad. He's too emotional. He couldn't handle that. So he said, you know what? I have to step, right? And when she gets old enough, I'll explain then, right? So she got old enough, and we had this sit down, kumbaya. I got them two together because she was upset with my dad too. Oh wow! And then she gave him that. You left me, and my dad explained, and I also explained, not at his defense, but because she doesn't know him like I know him. So let me explain who he is and why. Just to give perspective, not to make excuses for it, not to change what you felt, but so you can have better understanding of why someone did what they did. And now he was willing to pay for your misunderstanding. He was willing to pay for explaining it to you later because the hardship in the moment was too much. And for me, the hardship in the moment of staying at home was too much. I moved out, and I had an escape. She didn't have that. She only had my mom. Her dad was just crazy. But don't be angry with me because my escape, I had one, or you felt like we still around. And okay, let's talk about it. We talk about it. Come on back.
Maybe she thought you could take it.
I did take it, but
where was she gonna put it? She couldn't do it to her mom.
Yeah.
So you left, so it was easier to project all this hurt and pain and abandonment and this on you. Right. Which she may still be doing.
She really did. She did.
So and my thing is, have to figure out how to accept that, deal with it, process, and heal.
Well, I'm healed. I'm fine. Okay. I've been able to have closure with mom before she passed. And again, my closure, everybody can have a different opinion of this closure. My closure was with me. Okay. I mourned my mom before my mom left. Okay. Because she had left. Okay. So that mourning had already began. Okay. So when she did pass, it didn't make it no less hurtful that my mom was gone, but it was easy on me living still because my God and I have forgiven for whatever she felt about me, what the relationship had turned into, all of those things I had already talked about. Unfortunately, she didn't get to hear me, but I'm okay with that because I had already understood that she may not ever hear me because we just didn't have that space. So with that, I have healed. I have had to heal, and thank God, because some of us lose the parent or lose the sibling or lose and don't get a chance to visit those things. So I encourage. They say forgiveness is not for anyone but you. So forgiveness was about releasing me from feeling responsible for how she's feeling today, how she felt at the funeral, how she felt as a child. I attempted to open up those wounds. Let's talk about it at the right time, because every time ain't the right time. We got 92 people over for a barbecue. It's probably not a good time to talk about family. Okay, but she never walked through those doors. She doesn't even know me.
My family don't know me either.
And I think I'm amazing.
They don't know me
like
at
if you
all.
don't think you're amazing, who gonna think you're amazing? I think I have so much to offer her. She doesn't know it.
Right.
And I always try to say, well, damn, what am I missing out on knowing her? I don't know, because I don't know her. I have that answer. She doesn't know me. And my thing is, I'm more open, I believe, than she is.
Probably.
But
well, you
my door
hit a different healing space.
Yeah, my door. I'm downstairs in the basement, so you can come through if you want. But I'm down here doing me. I'm playing all the games. We down here doing what we do. You are always welcome to come down and just join in. But who knows when that'll ever happen? If it'll ever happen.
I don't know. I'm still in prayer that my sister and I have some type of relationship, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the way she living her life, y'all, the decisions she's making, I don't know if I'll ever be able to accept into my peaceful place I have. What was interesting though, my mom came to visit me one time, and my mom doesn't really know who I am either. And when she went home, my mom never told me. No, she did tell me. That's how I know. When she called back up here, she said, Fifi, I just wish your sister could come up there and see how you live. My mom don't really give compliments. That was a backhand compliment. That's the best you're going to get. But I was like, huh? She said, yeah, to see how you live and your friends and what you do with your life and how you making it. You know, she was saying after the divorce. Right. How you make it. And she said, I just wish she could come up here and see how you live.
Interesting.
And I'm thinking, she live with you. I'm thinking to myself, but you know, I'm the black sheep. I'm the one, you know, I'm the bad one. Remember, I'm the one that's too mouthy and talk too much and you can't say everything you want. And you know, that was me. I got in trouble for moving away and I was a bad daughter and all this other kind of stuff. But now you want my sister to come see how I live. That was interesting, but I doubt if she ever told my sister that. And my sister I've been living up here since 2001. My sister's been here one time. Once. And that was it. So I've chosen not to try to fix it.
And interesting, right? Well, yeah, that makes sense. Because
it's a block. It's a total.
Do you think it would be
block.
different if your sister was closer?
No.
Here? Same
not
distance?
with the decision she's making in her life. No. I would have to, if she lived in Philly, it would have to be shut.
Do you think you're being judgmental on the decision? Those are her decisions.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the decisions. Once you hear the decisions she's made in her life, you be like, yeah, you should shut that down. You don't want that in your life.
I understand.
You don't want that in your life at all.
Listen, I thought, don't nothing surprise me with these family members, and especially our siblings. Trey, your relationship with your sister, what is it today versus what it was before, growing up or younger?
Well, my sister's no longer here, so.
Did y'all heal before she passed away? Or did y'all bridge the gap? Not saying it had to be here, but did it come from here to at least here?
Well, we probably did that somewhere along the line, way before she passed. Because my sister had, we have different fathers, and my sister had a disease that runs on her father's side. So I went through a lot of when she got sick, to the point. I mean, her illness was called ataxia, and it mimics MS and MD. Wow. So she got to the point where she had trouble. She could no longer walk and take care of herself and so on and so forth. And at one point, I was the only one helping her do a lot of her, take care of her and do a lot of things for her. So there was this back and forth with the, the truth and the untruths and everybody knowing my sister, but everybody listening to her and assuming that what she was saying was true. So I went through that. So we had our moments of I would say understanding.
Okay.
But because of her disease and the other issue, medical issues that she had, I think that we may have bridged the gap, but because she has this streak of always wanting to get her way, when I didn't do something that she wanted me to do, then I became the worst person in the world, and she let everybody know it. So at some point, I think maybe we kind of bridge that gap there for a minute when she was lucid enough for us to really have a talk, because there was one of the I guess she was a social worker or whatever, but she had told my sister that she talked to me, and she told my sister that I said love you or something like that. And my sister said to her, she said, my sister ain't tell you that, because we don't even talk like that. So it was funny that the social worker was trying to put something in our relationship that wasn't there. Like, we loved each other.
That's deep, right?
You know, but that's not something that we sit back. Like, I used to say, you know, love you to my son every day. I ain't said it to my sister.
It's interesting.
So where are you particularly, like, I think that question was, do you think that there was a closure, or did you bridge the gap or so? But where are you personally with your sister? She's no longer here. Are you close? Are you in a good place?
Yeah. I mean, I did everything that I felt like a sister should do for her sister. And she's done things for me,
right?
As a sister. So we have our good, we have our bad. That's normal, you know. But we always were sisters. And she, in her own way, she did care about me and cared for me. But at the end of the day, we got our peace. Put it that way.
That's good.
And I was the last person to see her before she passed away. So I kind of felt that was a place I probably needed to be at that time. So
that's good. It's good to hear that at the end of everything. And these stories are short, guys, so we don't want to keep you too long on this, but overall, I'm gathering that although there's still turmoil to some degree, or maybe unfinished business to some degree, we still have hope.
Yes.
We still have optimism.
Yes.
But we are not controlled by that hope or that optimism, right? Because we can get so caught up in hoping that it gets better, and being so optimistic that it's overwhelming, stressed out about it. When the opportunity organically presents itself, we are open to revisit those things, right? But until, if or not, these things ever come to fruition, we're okay.
Yeah.
And how did we get there? We got there by
healing yourself.
You know, talking and working that out with whatever systems you have in play, whether it's girlfriend talk, family that you have extended your situation to, or meditation, massages, I don't know, whatever you do, you're on here 2 T's and a F and talking about it. Whatever that is.
I went to therapy. Because I wanted to
specifically about that, or
yes,
just
that was a big part of it, and my mom, and and dealing with my dad. But I went because I needed to hear I needed to get it out, and somebody spit it back to me. Because sometimes if it's in your own head, it's your perspective. It's
right.
Self-preservation is first. So sometimes I might have had it skewed, a little bit, but. And then I'll talk to family members and stuff. I didn't have it too skewed. Thank God. So I'm really big on checking myself about that. But I did go to therapy, and then I did a lot of self-analysis and working on myself.
Awesome.
So, but I'm still optimistic. If something happened to my sister today, she knows that I would handle all things.
Right.
And that she don't have to worry about her children. She don't have to worry. But she knows. I don't have that much confidence in the opposite way. And I think that's why I raised my oldest son to be as mature and to be able to take care of things, because I felt, me not being married right now, if I left here today, that he can handle. And I made sure that, because I wasn't sure, and I'm not confident in even my mom or my sister being able to handle what needed to be handled. So I'm not as confident, but I know my mother is, as well as my sister, very confident if anything happened to them, that I'm gonna take care of it. That's a lot of pressure and stress too.
A lot.
But I can handle it. I can handle it.
You can.
It's just unfortunate that I don't feel the same.
Right. And that one-sided support is a whole nother show topic. So ladies, this was deep. Not too bad.
Yeah, well, I think we maneuvered through it in a mature way.
And sometimes when you revisit things like this, you shock yourself in your strength and your growth, because we say one thing, but our body and everything responds differently and feels differently.
Yes.
So I think overall, the healing has to happen within. You can't control others, period.
No, not at all. You have
And
to
if we
heal
had to
yourself.
finish summarizing this up, Fee, what would you say?
That's what you said.
Okay, that was it.
No, for me, I had to heal myself in order. You know, I've talked to Tracy about this forgiveness. You use forgiveness. I may not use that term a lot because I feel, me growing up in the church, they push you to forgive, and that is the most unhealthy way to handle any situation. Because if you're forcing yourself to feel somewhat inside, you still feel the same. So you just mask in the feeling more, and it's going to manifest itself some other kind of way. So I say that you have to heal yourself, and in healing yourself, you learn to let that go. Now, if you want to call that forgiving, that's fine. But if you heal yourself, you're going to automatically level up, and other stuff won't affect you as much. So if you want to say that's forgiving, that's fine. I don't. I think it's
that's what I that's the words that I choose, because people do use forgiveness in a lot of different ways. And as I have read about forgiveness, and I've had therapy too. Therapy is good.
It works, y'all. If you let it.
Yeah.
If you let it.
But I mean, you got these folks that get paid to listen to you and give you tools you know nothing about to help you in your scenario.
Change your way of
To do
thinking.
that. Go see your therapist. Not when a problem arises all the time either. It's just good talk, which is why we have this show.
That's right.
But back to forgiveness, I use that word just because it means differently to me. Meaning, I am not forgiving you. I'm forgiving me. I am releasing me. I am freeing myself from anything that's not about my direction, my purpose. So I'm freeing. So I am forgiving. And I think the forgiveness is we don't forgive ourselves. We don't talk to ourselves. We don't have a relationship with ourselves. And what you're gonna learn from Two T's and the Fee is a lot of our topics are gonna lead right back into you. So this was an amazing show. Trey, you got anything? Because we done went past the time we said we were going to talk about this, but we appreciate you guys sticking around and listening to us.
Oh, one thing too. One space I know I'm in now, maybe not have been about 5 or 6 years ago, but if I ever have the opportunity to speak to my sister, I'm in a space now where I can accept what you were saying, Trey, where she can say, well, you did this to me and you did this and you act this way. I'm in a space where I can accept that and say, girl, that's what you know. Girl, let me tell you how I feel. Really, I was very insecure, and I was jealous of the relationship you had with my mom because I didn't have one. You know, I'm where I can say that now, and I'm hoping if we ever had to have that relationship, conversation, she can hear that. Bitch, I'm not this hard chick that you think I was. I got to be her, but I wasn't her at 18. I wasn't her at 25. Hell, I wasn't her at 35. You know, it's.
But maybe you were becoming, and she could sense that becoming.
I was trying to grow, but you have to be in healing. You have to be ready. You have to be open to accept the shit coming back at you.
Right. All right. Well, again, we want to hear from you guys about relationships with your siblings, sisters, in particular. One sister, two sisters, all sisters, you got a great relationship with one of them, not all of them, or all of them. If you have an amazing relationship with your sisters, we want to hear that too. Because again, this is all about what is that relationship, you know, that you have with your sisters. We talked about ours, and we want to hear from you. So please drop some comments. You know, you can reach us, email. You can email us at questions@2 T's and a fee 1E. If you're on some previous videos, you might have heard 2 E's. We changed that. We 2 T's and 1 fee. We women, we make changes. We change our minds.
Yes.
But we appreciate you being with us this length of time. And if you're still watching, please like and subscribe and tell a friend. It helps with YouTube's passing this message around so other folks can have a little bit of therapy,
Yes.
you know, a little bit of conversation. But again, please like, share, tell a friend.
We on Instagram and Facebook. Right?
Instagram and Facebook.
DM us at any questions.
Yes. And
any
please
comments.
share if you have any topics, any relationships that you want us to discuss. And we're also here to, and none of us are licensed therapists, but we are licensed girlfriends, okay? So we can definitely listen and give some perspective. So once again, thanks for joining 2 T's and a Fee. And we are out.
Soon as she do the clicker.
Yeah. The clicker's not working. It doesn't like me on certain days.
No, you might just have to get up and do the old fashioned way. You remember when your mama used to make you get
Remember
up
when
and
you
turn the
sit in
TV?
the remote like a